ZEnglish is an online English school with native and bilingual teachers from all over the world. If you like our videos, subscribe, click the link below, and head to zenglish.jp for a free lesson. Hello, and welcome to this set of slides all about English tips for advanced learners. I'm Ben, and I'm going to talk you through these tips. So first things first, challenge yourself. It's so good to challenge yourself, to stretch yourself, to give yourself more challenging things to do. So your English is already impressive stuff. Don't try to deny it. You've come a very long way, but you've got impressive English, and now you need to perfect it. So you need to challenge yourself in the 4 areas. Every language has these 4 areas: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So keep a diary in English. That is my main recommendation for the writing side of things. It doesn't need to be a lot, just a little bit every day. Every day is quite important with it, because just doing a little bit every day will really help you to develop that. So write stories in English if you like. No one ever needs to read them. Make sure you read some stories, short stories, news articles, blogs. I recommend watching movies in English with and without subtitles. And actually, even more than that, I recommend finding YouTubers, people who put videos online. Because in a movie, everyone will be an actor, but on YouTube, you'll hear real people talking in their own natural ways. So people with different accents, all that sort of thing. It's a great challenge. And find ways to find people to talk to. Get on the phone, get on the blower, talk to people in English. So challenge yourself in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. I really do encourage that. So the second tip is don't be too formal. A lot of people learn English and they get it very accurate, very proper, and actually real native speakers aren't that accurate. They're fairly casual. I almost never hear anyone use the word whom, even though it's correct technically to say to whom am I speaking. Almost everyone will just say who am I speaking to. So don't worry too much about what's technically accurate. Find ways to just relax a bit. Because if you're too precise, if you're too formal, it can seem pretentious. It can seem like you're trying to avoid seeming like a common person. And so I really encourage finding more casual words to use. So it's technically correct. It's polite to say, may I have some cake? But I almost never hear this. It's almost always, can I have some cake? Could I have some cake? Or, ooh, I'd like some cake. However is a good word, but is a much more common word. So however is a great word if you're making a speech, writing an essay, but is more casual. So don't worry too much about what's more polite, because the important thing is what sounds natural. Relax your delivery a bit. Don't make it all too precise and clear. Just let the words and the sentences flow together. Take it easy. Relax. Tip 3 is to get on with it. So when it comes to friendly conversation, shorter words and phrases trump longer ones. To trump something is to be better than it. So even if you can build very impressive, long, complex sentences with long, complex words, in most everyday speech, people make things a bit more simple. So you can say, oh, don't worry about it, but never mind, quicker, more direct. You could say, oh, please continue, tell me more, elaborate further. But it's more common just to say, go on. You could say, oh, I'm skeptical about what you've said, but we'll wait and see what the truth turns out to be. But it's quicker to say, I doubt it. So it's very good to be able to build more complex things and more complex sentences, but you don't always need to, especially in everyday English. Being able to do the clearest, most direct, concise way is a better form of communication. So don't always assume that longer is better. occasionally you'll find a very long English word that perfectly describes what you need. It's good to know, but some are so long that people won't know what you mean. Sesquipedaliaphobia is an English word, well, a Greek word we use in English, meaning the fear of long words. But it's such a long word that if you say it, most people will go, "What?" even though it is a perfectly valid and cromulent word. And number 4, word order is such a powerful tool. It can change things so much. I'm only going to give you a couple of examples here. Before we get into them, I think we should take a moment to appreciate this picture of a mouse with some cheese and a little parasol to keep the sun off his head. So, word order has a big effect, and one of the examples I have here is I am really tired, or more casually, I'm really tired. What happens if you move the am? Say, I really am tired. So once you put the am somewhere else, I really am tired, it's a less natural and less common way to say it, so it can sound a little peculiar, but actually it really changes where the emphasis is. It makes it, you're not just saying I'm tired, you're saying this is really true, this really is true. So I'm tired, I really am. You move the word about, and it really makes the statement much stronger. A more complex example is I only nibbled the cheese. So I only, straight before nibbled here, so the thing I'm emphasizing is you only nibbled it. You didn't take a big bite out of the cheese. You just had a tiny nibble of the edge of it. You only nibbled it. I nibbled only the cheese. You would only before the cheese. That's what the only is modifying. So I didn't nibble the apples. I didn't nibble the spaghetti. I nibbled only the cheese and nothing else. Only I nibbled the cheese means you didn't nibble the cheese. She didn't nibble the cheese. That little mouse didn't nibble the cheese. Only I did. So moving only to before the I means I is the thing you're emphasizing and modifying there. And if you say, I nibbled the only cheese, it means there was exactly one cheese. There weren't 2 or 3 or 9, there was one, and I nibbled it. So where you put your words has a tremendous impact. So this is just 4 fairly basic tips, but used in fairly complex expressions of things. So I really recommend you to look over these, to practice these things, to keep practicing your listening and speaking and reading and writing. And I hope to see you again. So until next time, goodbye.